Okay, this is point 4, which is simplifying expressions. And so first thing what we need to do is we need to know what combined like terms means. So let's go ahead and break this down. To combine means like to put together. And then like terms, they're numbers um, that have the same variable. So numbers that have the same variable. And I'm going to refer to the same variable as the same label. Okay. So let's go over some examples of like terms and then some unlike terms. So like terms, the easy example is something like 3x and 2x. These are like terms because they both have this x label. They both have an x. Okay. An unlike term would be like 3x and 8y. These are unlike terms because one of them has an x and one of them has a y. So they're two separate things. They're two separate terms, so we can't do anything with them. Okay. Another example, which maybe makes a little bit more sense, is like 4 t-shirts and 8 t-shirts. So like, let's say I might have 4 t-shirts in my closet, and then there are 8 t-shirts in the laundry. So even though they're in 2 different places, I still have a total of 12 t-shirts. We add those together because they're like terms. The unlike example would be something like 3 t-shirts and 4 pants. I might have 3 t-shirts in my closet, and I might have 4 pairs of pants in the wash. I wouldn't say that I have 7 t-shirts because I only have 3 t-shirts. I only have 3 of that label. And then the last example I want to go over is something like 9x squared and negative 4x squared. These are also like terms because they both have the label x squared. An unlike term would be like 4x and 9x squared. These are two different labels. One has just an x and one has an x squared. So they're two different things. Let me give you an example of like what helps me remember this one. So like if I had 4 iPods or iPhones, let's say iPhones. Let's say we have 4 iPhone, the 3G iPhones. Okay, if I had 4 iPhone 3Gs and 8 iPhone 4s, like, are these the same thing? No way. An iPhone 4 is a different product than an iPhone 3G. So even though they both are iPhones, this is a different generation. So the x squared is kind of like a different generation of the x. It's the second generation, whereas this is just the first generation. Okay? Anyways, let's go through some examples, some hard examples that we would do in class. Number 1, this is 6x plus 12 minus 6 minus 3x. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight the term that has the same label. So both of these numbers have an x. This is a positive 6. This is a negative 3. So I'm going to go ahead and combine them. 6 minus 3 is 3. They both have an x. Then I'm going to go ahead and combine just the constants. 12 minus 6, which is 6. This simplifies to 3x plus 6. Number 2, I see an x squared label. I see this is a 2x squared, and that's it. This is a positive 3x. So I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms to simplify. So these both have an x squared, so I'm going to add the coefficients. 3 plus 2 is 5. and then keep the label. These are both constants, so 4 minus 5. The 5 is larger, so it'll still be negative. 5 minus 4 is 1. And then the last one, this is 8x. This is 6xy, which is different from just x. It might have a y in it, or it might still have an x in it, but there's still two different labels. And that's a negative 2x, so those have the same exact label. This is a positive 6xy, positive 3xy. They both have the same label. So I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms by adding the coefficients. 6 minus, or 8 minus 2 is 6. Keep the label, x. And then the xy terms, 6 plus 3 is 9, and that's xy.